your needs may change through the life of your fitness activity. So
yeah,
definitely. So I'll be available, as will Sarah. Will be after the seminar.
We're going to go after questions. Thank you so much.
Trying to keep it.
And what we'll do is we'll probably have a question. We are going to have question answer after that, and you can just mail him for any questions that you have regarding this. Okay. So thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
So yeah, where I was going with the Nike Free, and Ken is definitely right about that. Is if the foot is a functional unit. And I don't know if you've ever noticed in the marathons that some of these guys from Nigeria and Kenya and all that seem to be winning awful lot of races. And some of them are doing it barefoot. And the reason that they can do that is they have grown up barefoot. They're going native, obviously, out in the wild. And for them, the foot has become a total functional unit. It's got muscle in it. And when you think about it, we kind of need the muscles in the foot for push-off, and it's very important. And we've coddled our feet a little too much sometimes. And to go from a coddled foot with no muscle to immediately going into barefoot technology could totally overwhelm you. So you do have to be careful in how you do things. But I feel the more natural you can go, in the end, the better. Interesting experience. On Thursday, I couldn't find my shoes. Yes, it happens. And so I went back to my backup running shoes, which is a lot more highly cushioned one, which I sometimes use for longer distance running. And but I decided to do one of my short, hard, fast runs on this one. And you know, that night I was in agony. No, that's putting it way too strong. But I had quite a bit of pain going up my leg here, into the knee, into the hip. And it was just, what happened? I can't figure out. Something is wrong. And then it hit me. I was wearing the wrong shoe for the activity. So shoe is a really important deal. And we like to emphasize that. We make orthotics also, because some feet are beyond hope. I'm kidding there. And so we custom make orthotics to make it work better, which then you slip into any shoe that you like. And even a rain boot that has absolutely no support can all of a sudden become a pretty good orthopedic device for foot health. So that's the whole orthotics business is quite controversial. Here in the US, we unfortunately employ very old technology, the very hard, rigid, thick orthotics, which tends to make your foot even lazier. I like to favor the ones that are more flexible, custom made for your foot, and thus your foot still has to work and is still a functional part of your body. John Baker is going to talk next. He is a personal trainer, a very popular guy right now, being flooded by high schoolers. Yes. Getting ready for a sport-specific kind of training. My staff has also utilized them. That's why my staff looks as sculpted as they do, thanks to your efforts. And John is very much into functional training, yes. Which I greatly appreciate. It's not about just having a nice looking body, but it's about being truly functional. And there's some very neat tricks that he has up his sleeve. So if you could listen carefully to what John has to say. He is the owner of Extreme Performance. Been there now for how many years?
8 years.
8 years. Yeah. And before that, lived in Chicago. But I think you've enjoyed your move over here.
I have.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So come on up and let's talk about a few things.
Okay. Well, I want to give my little plug for Gazelle too, because I have a lot of athletes who come into my clinic. A lot of young athletes that are growing quickly, tend to have a lot of issues with their feet, knees, ankles, and you know they'll come in with shoes that are improper for their ability level at that point. You know, they'll go to other department stores and just pick up what's on the rack, and they'll continue to have problems. And I'll tell them, I said, no, you need to go to Gazelle Sport. They'll evaluate your foot, fit the shoe to your foot, make sure that you're in the shoe that you should be instead of the shoe that looks cool for a lot of these kids. You know, additionally, I get a lot of clients who are starting to pick up exercise again after X number of years. You know, a lot of times they'll dig in their closet, pull out the old exercise shoes that they had 10, 15, 20 years ago and start working out in those, walking, whatever. And a lot of times you can actually discourage your actual exercise routine because you don't have the proper footwear for that. So Gazelle has always, I can send people there without feeling like they're gonna, put them in the wrong shoe, number one. They always take really good care of them and make sure the customer service is always there for them. So Gazelle's a great place. What I want to talk to you guys about tonight is a little bit about unlocking your exercise combination, okay? As Doc has been talking about, exercise is for everybody. Your body is meant for movement. It's meant to lift. It's meant to do the things that help you get through your day. For a lot of people, they get these little aches and pains, and all of a sudden, oh, that hurts. I'm not going to do that anymore, okay? And so what happens is they start to functionally regress to the point where they're then using canes and walkers, and to the point where they're losing their independence and their freedom. From an athletic standpoint, dealing with young athletes that are growing quickly, those are definite considerations. Core strengthening is a really big consideration for those athletes. I call them my weeble wobbles, because you see them running, their head's bobbing, their arms are moving, their legs are moving in opposite direction. They're not streamlined in the sense of being controlled and being able to understand how to control their body. So, I think a lot of people, when they first start exercising, or depending on what your exercise background is, I think it's important for people to understand what it is you're trying to achieve with your exercise. For some people, it's just to be able to be more active with their kids, grandkids. For some athletes, it's to perform at a much higher level. Some people want the physical appearance of it. So understanding what it is that you want with your exercise, I think, can help direct a lot of people to the proper style of training that they want. I think infomercials are kind of the scourge of America right now, that, lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, or something that's so unrealistic that, oh, I got to get that, and it's really unrealistic that if you do that, you'll keep that off. You can probably lose that 20 pounds, but one, it's not going to be very healthy, and two, you'll gain it back so quick, and you'll probably gain more back in the process. So, for a lot of people, I see a lot of people that just have aches and pains, and we use exercise to really help make things more fluid, whether it's stretching, weightlifting, cardio. Those are all things that we use to kind of help get the body back in sync with everything. And so certainly what Doc does is help keep the body alignment, keep the body aligned. Exercise kind of enforces that if you use proper mechanics with everything. Posture, mechanics, those are all components that I try to focus with, that if you train the body properly, it'll react in the same way. So for an example, I've got a client who probably for 15 years has dealt with chronic migraines. She's had 2 lumbar disc surgeries, and when she first came into me, she came in like this, because this is how she thought that was the best way to help keep her pain from coming back. Well, she was actually kind of reinforcing all the issues that she was having with the migraines and the low back injury, because of the postural alignment or malalignment that she had. So we started, I think she came in thinking, oh yeah, we're going to lift, we're going to do cardio, and probably for the first 10 sessions with her, we didn't do anything but stretching and posture re-education with her. So, exercise can take many different forms, but it really depends on the individual person and where they're at coming in. And now we've gotten her to the point where she's off her migraine medication. She doesn't have any back issues anymore. She's riding her bike, gardening, playing with kids.